Welcome to my page. But before I get started, make sure you subscribe to my channel and don't forget to hit the notification bell for all updated videos. Hi, welcome back to my channel. My name is Drea and I am going to talk about my Dallas experience that I just came back from visiting my family and friends for a birthday party. And I took the boys with me on this road trip. Us mommies are not perfect. I don't know if it's a confession or just a harsh. We're not perfect. As hard as we try to plan, organize, and structure things, sometimes it just doesn't work out. So I knew about this trip a couple months ago. So long story short, short story shorter, um, it's only 3 hours away. We drove, we got on the highway, and the night before, I said, boys, let's pack up. I said, you can bring your game because we got an Airbnb in one of the rooms. You can hook up your game console. Bring your game. They did that. Pillows and blankets, anything that you want to feel comfortable to sleep with, you can bring that as well. So they're in there packing. I tell them what to bring. Bring your toiletries. It might be a little chilly. Bring some sweatpants, some joggers, a jacket, some jeans. We're packing. I gotta do my own thing, so I'm getting my makeup, I'm getting what I want to take, and we're packing. And I always buy my boys the same thing, even with shoes. One might get a black pair, one might get a white pair, just to keep it easier in shopping, right? But they did have the same exact gray backpacks, just like an extra. I always have an extra backpack just in case I need to go overnight, and they did have that the same. So my younger son decided to empty out his school bag and put his stuff in there. I'm like, okay, whatever, that's fine, just whatever. So then my son took both of the same identical gray backpacks, his and his brother's, and he put the gaming console in one, and then he put his, clothes or shirts or whatever in another one. Mind you, they're identically the same. So this whole time, I'm thinking my son grabbed his clothes. He had his clothes backpack on him, and no, it was the gaming stuff, right? So we're heading out. I'm like, make sure everybody got anything. Did anybody leave everything? I remember him putting the backpack in the trunk. Remember, it's the same one, right? So then he grabs his school bag because he said he had work to do. So in this transition, me missing him, grabbing his clothes backpack that was left behind, that's the more of the story. He left his clothes, and I had to go replenish his clothes in Dallas. But this is where I feel, as a mom, I failed. So instead of him taking, the clothes backpack by hand, he took his school book bag. So this whole time, I'm thinking he got his clothes in his book bag, and he put his gaming console in the trunk because like I said again, we're putting our stuff in the car, we're loading up. So we're on the highway, we get there. I'm like, okay, guys, we're at the Airbnb, let's unload. And my son says, Mom, I can't find my bag of clothes. I immediately panicked. I freaked out. I said, where's your fucking clothes at? What do you mean? We drove all this way and I asked you. I asked you more than once. Did you have everything? And he was like, Mom, I know. I'm so sorry. I forgot it. I was just in a rush. And then I sat back and I realized, you know what? We was rushing. I was barking out orders to you that you can't process in your brain, little brain of yours, because you're only 11. And as a mom, I should have go back and double check to make sure that everything was correct. Oops, my bad for yelling at you. Forgive me for not doing my job and making sure you had the things that you need for this vacation, our birthday party. So we gotta find a Ross or something so you can have some jammies to sleep in and some clothes to wear to the birthday party. Like, Lord forbid you wear what you wore today, tomorrow, right? So I'm like, okay, so let me find the next Ross. I had a budget. I had a budget for the weekend of $300. If they needed to, if we had to go to an arcade or something, that's just them. That's their money. And I had my own money for gas and in case of an emergency. I had that money to the side. So I'm like, it's cutting into the budget, an unexpected expense, but we'll be okay for the weekend. So he felt like shit. He was taking hard on himself. My son felt like, damn, how did I miss it? I'm all like, it's okay. Things happen. That's why we're about to go get new clothes. And my son took it harder than me. At first, yes, I was pissed. At first, yes, I was upset. But that wasn't going to affect our weekend and our weekend of fun. So, single moms, make sure when you're going through something with your kids, okay, it happened. There's nothing you can do. I'm not going to drive back home 3 hours just for a bag of clothes. So, we got to find a next course of action so it won't hinder our fun. Because then it'll be a bitter butt. You'll be a bitter butt all weekend, complaining and worrying and festering on the fact that he left his clothes, or I left his clothes, I should say. So I didn't want that. And then the little brother, had his things together. He was like, we here to have fun, don't be mad, mom. I'm like, you're right, son. Mommy's not going to be mad. But this is a time for us to learn, responsibility. I asked you something, you didn't do it. And I should have double checked. But I shouldn't have put all that pressure on you as a child for you to listen to what I say more than once, because I told you to make sure the trash was out, lock the back door, get your clothes, get your game. Like it was too much for him to process, and he missed it. What I should have did, I should have felt like I should have said, did you check the trash out? Okay, next let's lock the door. Okay, next let's make sure we got our things. I felt like I should have, did it that way. But this was the first time we ever went on a road trip like this. A mistake happened, so next time it happens again, or if we have to go somewhere, I know what to do next. So, I rarely, brung it up again. It was a lesson on my end as a mom and a lesson on my son's end as well, because he felt like he was responsible enough in junior high school to not miss his clothes. So I would have been wrong if I would have bashed him, if I would have told him, I can't believe you. If I would have just spewed negativity out, I didn't want to damage my son's spirit like that. A bag of clothes is not worth it to me. I did not want to go that route because I've been there before in my childhood when I didn't do something right, and my mom was upset and she said some things, or I've been around other kids and their parents said something, so I didn't want that to be me, my son's experience. I was upset, I was mad, but things happen. Some things happen out of our control, and we got to learn how to roll with the punches. It's called life, right? So moving forward, now I know the next time I give my son a list of orders, I have to oversee it and I have to go back and check it, because so this won't happen again, because it's too much for him sometimes. And we're leaving and we're rushing. And, I wanted to be traffic. So it was just a lot at that one time. So, but we're back home safe and sound. I am going to finish up my errands for the day because it is a holiday. So I want to make sure that I have everything prepared for the week. Speaking of clothes, I need to wash some. So that's all I wanted to say about my experience in traveling with my kids, is to oversee them. And if something happens, it's going to be okay. Don't let your negativity come out on your kids. Yeah, I have to go replace his clothes, which cut in the budget, but they still had fun. They still we went to the museum, the wax museum. We went to go see some pretty bomb exhibits at the Ripley's, believe it or not. So museum, so they had fun. And my son wasn't really worried about the clothes. He just wanted to get to his cousins and his family and his friends. That was his main focus. And of course, play the game, right? When you start to teach your kids responsibility, you want to take it easy on them. They don't know everything. They're learning. You're 11 years old. You didn't know it all. So we got to, baby food them again, and learning and teaching and structure and stuff. Soft foods, chewable foods, things that they can manage. Because that list that I gave him, it was overwhelming. And now I get it now. It was too much. I probably would have been like missed something if my boss told me to come and do this and do that and make sure. And I probably would have missed a couple tasks too. So looking back, I can see where, I slipped the ball as a mom, and he felt like he slipped the ball as being a child. So when it comes to responsibility, make sure that you be easy on them. Start slow. Just take out the trash every Friday. Be consistent, and then add another one. Make sure your room is vacuumed or whatever it is. and then pretty soon they'll catch on to the tasks that they need to do, and then you wouldn't have to ask them so many times because they know, oh, it's Friday, I gotta take out the trash. Oh, I know this needs to be done. So then you're training your kids to handle responsibility, and then you could pile, more as they get older. But he's in middle school. I think the transition is now to make sure your clothes is being washed, and to make sure the trash is taken care of, because you want to make sure by the time high school and college that you don't want to start teaching them how to do that stuff when they're older. You want to set the foundation now. Now's the time as they're getting older and observing their surroundings and stuff. I wash, son, you dry. I wash, you put up. I cook, you clean, or whatever. However you run your household, single moms, it's up to you, and whatever you gotta find your family's flow. So I learned a huge lesson this weekend in responsibility and teaching my kids. At the end of the day, everything's gonna be okay. Things can be replaced. We had a good time. So I'm taking it as a lesson learned in how to prepare for our next road trip in the future. That's all I wanted to say, single moms. Stay tuned for another video, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel, comment, like, and share. Bye.